più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adolgino d'amor, delle belle turbando al riposo.
Well, if you're watching this video, no doubt it's because you're interested in buying a Multistrada or finding some things out about the second version of Multistradas, the 1200cc ones. I'll go through in this video all of the things that I was thinking about before I bought it. And now I've got it, I am actually really chuffed. So perhaps I might do a little bit of a sales job along the way, but you'll have to see. I've done about 500 miles on it, and this morning, just for a bit of fun, I've brought it to Oliver's Mount, the only UK mainland racing circuit you can just get on and ride. And this is the beauty that I bought. It's a 2011 1200S. S means it's got the Olin suspension. It was the touring model, so it's got heated grips and it came with panniers and everything. And I'm absolutely thrilled with it. When you are looking for one, it does make a difference which spec of bike it is you're going to buy. Reason being, they all at this end of the market, the 2010 to 2013 ones, all seem at about a similar sort of price level, somewhere between 3,500 and perhaps 5,500, maybe even 6. But you can see bikes without all of the extras that are at the high end of the price, and I bought this one with all of the extras at the low end of the price. So it is worth thinking about. It did take me a while to decide on this, and I'll be honest, a couple of times along the way I thought, should I bother? Because sometimes when you're looking at this particular version of Multistrada, you do come across some things that you think, oh, it'd be just my luck if that happens to me. Because there are some regular faults that a number of the bikes have had. Now, I chose this one because it had actually had most of the faults. So if I talk to you about them, you'll know what to look for. And I did stalk 2 or 3 online before I actually got this one. I'm very, very pleased with it. It's come with all those accoutrements I just said, and it's got what I at first thought was just some sort of aftermarket carbon fibre can, but I've actually found that it's got some Termione engraving on some of the bracketry, so maybe it's just not got the sticker and it's a Termione one. Certainly looks like one of the ones that they do sell. When I first started to look at these, I realised there was a number of different models that were across the range. The base one doesn't actually have the electronically adjustable suspension. It has adjustable suspension, which you have to do manually. There's also a number of trim levels from sort of the basic bike up to the Pikes Peak, which is sort of the sporty version of it. I was particularly interested in the touring one, mainly because I did want scent stand, I did want luggage, and if I could get them, I did want heated grips, and that provided all of them. So it narrowed down what I was actually looking for. They did come in 3 different colours. There's the basic Ducati red, which is the one that I've got and which I actually wanted. There's a white one, which if you see in the flesh, the white colour is really a nice, I think it's a pearl, and I really liked them. I would definitely have had one if that had been the best option at the time. And they also have a black one, which looks great. And some of the touring ones comes into some sort of a silvery steel grey colour, which again is very attractive. So you had red, white, black or steely grey. The Pikes Peak has a set of transfers on it, and I think basically it's the red bike with white transfers that actually do make it very attractive. When I started looking at the different bikes available, I soon found that there are some common problems that some of these bikes have. The main one that virtually every bike seems to have is some problem with the fuel sensor at some point. In fact, some people say you have to change the fuel sensor every couple of years as a matter of course. I'm not quite sure if that's true. Fortunately, this had a new fuel sensor only 2 years ago, so that's one thing I don't need to worry about. The next thing that always seems to be an issue seems to be the electronic dash. I don't think any of the bulbs or any of the parts within it are serviceable. So if something goes wrong, you have to replace the whole dash. The dash on this one was put on, as it stands now, 7,000 odd miles ago. The next major thing with the earlier bikes is that there were some engine problems, and either problems with the cylinder heads were the very early ones, but Ducati should have fixed them along the way. And then a number of them have had problems with crankshaft failure. It seems to be that where the stator connects onto the crankshaft is a little bit too flimsy, maybe if you're using the bike harshly, accelerating and such like, and they have been known to snap. And guess what? This bike had a new engine when it was 6,000 miles old. And what for? Because the crankshaft had snapped. I think bikes that are in the market now are likely to have either had this problem or probably be okay. The final thing that seems to cause a hurdle to everybody is whether it's had, importantly, the Desmo service. The inlet and exhaust valves on this have a bit more of a sophisticated way of opening and closing, which causes a bit more expense or time to be spent when actually setting them up. With this bike, the seller didn't really think it had ever had a Desmo service since it had had its new engine in. Now, in looking at the service booklet, and if you look at this particular page, I actually think it did have its Desmo service at that time. I phoned this dealer and they said to me on the phone that although they've moved premises and moved systems, they cannot imagine they would have stamped the book without doing the full 15,000 mile service at the time. And looking at the mileage it was done at, which was 68 miles after the Desmo service warning would have been coming on the dash, the fact that it's got D/timing written on the bottom of the page as well, I think the Desmo service was done on this. So it is due, but it's not due for another couple of thousand miles. So I'm going to be looking at doing that probably in the winter. At the moment I have got the oil service light on. It had an oil service about a year ago, so it doesn't really need doing yet. When I come to do the Desmo, I'll do the oil as well. So I'll need to find a way to actually reset that service light. Now I've seen a couple of things online and I'm going to try that out. That will probably be the next video. So that's my thoughts and some information about what to look for with these particular types of bikes. Definitely look in the comments, because some people will put me right on some of the things that I've got wrong. I'm sure of that. I'm thrilled with it at the moment. I've done over 500 miles. I've had good fuel consumption, about 45 miles per gallon. Most of the riding's been done 2 up. If you've enjoyed this, why not give us a like and subscribe? I'm going to be doing a few things with this bike. There are some modifications that are not expensive that a lot of people recommend, so I'm going to be doing them and going to give it a good servicing along the way. And more importantly, if you stay with us, I will be doing the Desmo service on this, so you will see evidence of me having done it and what I found. Thanks very much for watching.